Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video, we're looking at the round 16 review of NRL SuperCoach for the 2023 season. And as you can see, they're a little bit underwhelming this week with an 870, partly due to a couple of late outs, which is unfortunate. And I guess given they affected the last last game of the round rather, there was very little I could do to fix it. So if you have a look at the team, we can go through it. So yes, you can see at the top there, Reed Marnie with a 67. Sorry, just getting some pop-ups on my screen. Yeah, so obviously a tough day out for the Dogs. So for him to get 67 was a pretty decent return, I thought. Harry Edwards, so he was one of the later shouts. Had a concussion at training, which ruled him out of the game. Um, and yeah, so a bit of a decision to be made around him. He doesn't offer us anything this week. But there is dual position up around the corner. But we could also potentially use his cash. Although looking at the bank balance, we're doing okay on that front. Fainu, so started on the bench, which was a bit concerning. But I guess once we're through essentially this round, we're not going to be too concerned about his scoring. We're just looking for that potential dual position and also just a cheap, in case of emergency, front row option. Obviously, bench hasn't played. So Britton Nickera, so 74, got a try, which was nice. Unfortunately, it was against the Dogs. Jacob Preston with 47, so I guess there wasn't really a lot of attacking opportunity there, so we can forgive that. Tyrone Peachy with the 74, so I didn't see the Penrith game. But yeah, obviously he did quite well, so that's nice. Can't even remember who they played, to be honest. Let's go back one. Oh, that's right, they played the Cowboys on Friday night. That's why I couldn't remember it. But yeah, that's a good return. See, Nico Hines. So I ended up taking Ponga's vice captaincy score, which again cost me 34 points. But you knew he was going to bounce back after the disappointment of missing out on Origin. So I did play it safe and took Ponga's score. 95's nothing to sneeze at, but obviously wasn't the right call. Josh Schuster with a 45, so it looks like he's peaked in price now too. So I guess we do what we please with him in that spot. Ruben Garrick with a 26. So obviously, if you were expecting another 160, you were probably kidding yourself, particularly with Tommy Turbo and DCE out. So surprisingly lost money off the back of, still having the 160 in the rolling average. So we might have to make a call there. Joey Manu, that's the score we were hoping for, him playing fullback. Main reason we held him through a couple of potentially lower scores and some rough form from the Roosters. Paul Alamotti with the 24. So yeah, he's just about done the job we want him to do. It might be time to finally get out of that pick. Blake Wilson didn't play, so he was the loophole captain. And Dream Buller with 43. So that's his lowest score, I think, of the year since his debut. But yeah, against the Storm, it's never easy. I did get 38 on debut. So I guess we've been riding this wave for the last few weeks, but he's probably now at a position where he would have peaked in price. He could still get 94, but I mean, we can make a decision whether we want to get a different fullback or trust him in after this week. I guess the other thing of note is because Matt Burton got called up to the Origin squad, there was a last-minute reversal. Yes, I do have an extra trade up my sleeve. But we are going to finally get rid of Nathan Cleary this week. So I guess because the main issue looking at the team is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue dots, which means that I've only got 17 playing, but even then I won't have Cleary or Peachy playing. So I think the plan this week is to activate the trade boost, the final one. All right, and we'll get rid of Peachy. This was always the plan. Going to get rid of Cleary as well. And bring in Sean Johnson. So I think other than actually no, so Sean Johnson's a really good pick because he's gonna play through till at least after round 20. I forget when the Warriors last bye is, but I guess the next few rounds where there's a few teams on bye and the like, the Warriors are one of the ones that do miss out, which is good. So we're gonna bring him in. Then we've got a Milski to spend. So just looking through my team. I think the obvious pick is Jermaine Hopgood. I keep looking at him scoring and regretting that I traded him out, but I think we can afford to bring him back in. And then as you can see, we've still got a nice little war chest there, so we can get out of Alamotti, I think, finally. Because the rest of the side is pretty solid. Like we look at all these blue dots. I don't really need to trade in anyone here because I've got Tino Haas, Tohu Tarpany, plenty of cover in the front row. Second row is pretty set now that Hopgood's there. You know, the Haas, I guess ultimately this would be Matty Burton, but he's on the bye this week, so it's more of a next week option. And then, we've already got 5 sort of guns here uh, in the center wing sort of spot. So, it's pretty much just getting whoever I feel like. Yeah, so it's too much choice. I mean, probably the two that stand out just at the top there is either Nick Meaney or Brian Tyre. So very similar profile in terms of their buy coverage. I guess, yeah, you could go either way. It'd be interesting to see if I had 2 trades. If I could do both, I probably couldn't, just doing some quick maths. Because I guess then the other option, if I don't, if I hang on to Alamotti because I've got enough centre wing coverage, is do I look to play 2 gun fullbacks? And even then, excuse me, yeah, so just looking through the list, Latrell's still injured. Yeah, Gutho's going all right, but he has a bye in round 18, which it's not the worst. I just can't bring myself to pull the trigger on Gutho pick. Desco maybe 13%. It's a nice pot option. Yes, I mean, yeah, there's too much choice, but I guess we will pick someone. Let's just go Nick Meaney. We can always, you know, it can always end up being, Alamotti becomes Meaney, but just for the purpose of the video, we'll look at that. So if we did go in this particular way, excuse me. So this week is the sort of tricky one, and we are relying on a lot of Origin things to go right. So uh, Tino and Haas back on the field. Fano, it's not Fano. So we'll trade out of Fafita. Oh, yeah, doesn't really matter at the moment. Throw the R on him. SJ, you're on. Get out of these two. So I've ended up with 18 here somehow. That's pretty handy. So I do have one extra player up the sleeve. Oh, that's right. I did have 17 before the blue dots, wasn't it? So that was just the 18th player. Oh, excuse me, got the coughs. Yeah, so that's how the team will probably line up. Schuster or Fano would be number 17. Probably lean this way if I'm being honest. But in terms of the VC and C, I think the obvious VC will be Sean Johnson up against a Dragons team in crisis. Um, and the captaincy option, we'll take your pick. There's a few. I guess, it all depends on the origin backup. So I might play it pretty safe and just go with Hopgood this week. Sadava against the Dolphins. They got the bye next week, so you'd assume he'd be putting a bit in. But yeah, that's sort of how the team would line up at the moment. I guess the other thing I did want to quickly consider is the coming weeks, because you might notice a change in the videos over the next couple of weeks. So I'll actually be overseas on a bit of a Euro trip with the wife. So won't have a lot of time to sit and play around with trades and stuff. So I mean, next week I think the only one I'll miss is Hopgood. So seem to have avoided Parramatta players. Must be some deep-rooted stuff there in terms of the the Bulldogs rivalry. But if we're looking for round 19, so we've got one, two, oh, not Tino. So these two, yeah, oh, not Fefita. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're assuming Hines will be there. 10, 11, 12, 13. So probably not Blake Wilson, given Braden Burns is back in the fold. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'll still be overseas when round 19's going. So I might have to get on and do a couple of little trades, get out of one of these center wings. Probably hold Ponga, let's be honest. Yeah, Schuster, he's probably cooked. So there might be one or two trades while I'm away, and obviously I'll try to do my best to update everyone with that. But yeah, there won't be too much in the way of things like the stock market videos or those sort of things. So yeah, apologies for that, but you got to live your life. It's not all about SuperCoach, as much fun as it is. So yeah, so I guess we'll leave it there. Pretty comfortable with where the team's at. I'll be honest, I thought I was going to slide back outside the top 10K, so pretty glad I held on to that. But yeah, this is the tough week, but then obviously it frees up with Marnie, Edwards, Nikora. I guess Bulldogs, Sharks, and Tigers players are all finished with their. Oh, sorry, the Sharks and Tigers players have finished with their buys after this week. The Titans players are now done. So if you like someone who's not for Feeder or Tino from them, they're gonna potentially play every game for the rest of the year, every round for the rest of the year, which is nice. Yeah, the other two teams, I guess, to keep an eye out for the Warriors and the Dolphins. But I might break that down more in the stock market video. So we'll wrap it up there. So thanks as always for watching. Feel free to comment down below. I've got to go this way. Uh, I can't do the camera. Everything's in reverse. Yeah, but yeah, comment down below if you've got any strong opinions on this side, or you want a strong opinion about your side. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.